Hello, I'm Debbie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make these soap dispensers. I chose a bottle, a glass bottle, it was clear glass, that didn't have any ridges, and I taped the bottom. I also added this canning ring to the bottom so that it would raise my bottle off of the mat. And then I spray painted it white. I taped the top of it too, where the soap dispenser goes on. So I taped that and I spray painted the bottle white. And so I'm going to show you what I use, and I just use the same mixture that I do when I do my acrylic Dutch pours, and I just choose my colors and I start flooding my bottle. And when I say flooding, I just do like I do my canvases. I put enough paint on the bottle to where when I add my colors, it will flow as well. Your colors won't go in places where there hasn't been paint before, and you'll see here how that works with the white. I'm adding a ton of white, and that paint is just not going in certain places there at the bottom. So I have to take my paintbrush and I have to dab it onto the bottle so that when I start adding my colors, the paint will flow on that bottle. So I'm just continuing to dab my bottle and get that paint all across the bottom of my bottle, making sure that it's going to flow all the way, even kind of down under the rim. That's why I put that canning rim on my bottle so that I can raise it up and the paint will flow even underneath, breaking that surface tension. So then I want to tell you the colors I'm going to use on this first one, and I'm going to use Prussian Blue Hue by Liquitex, Greenish Blue by Amsterdam, Metalic Cobalt Blue by Loft, Turquoise Green by Amsterdam, Iridescent Blue Green by Pebeo, and Sterling Silver by DecoArt. And here you can just see me. There's really no rhyme or reason or right way or wrong way to do this. I just keep adding colors until I get it to where I feel like it's going to have good coverage. At first you just have to just load it up, and I know a lot of people get nervous seeing all that paint down at the bottom on the base and thinking that it's a waste, but just keep watching. I'll show you what you can do with that paint. And I'm doing this intentionally because this really makes some pretty skins. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just keep watching and I'll tell you. So I've speeded us up here a little bit because this gets a little monotonous. So I'm just adding, that was silver, that was Prussian Blue Hue, this is Greenish Blue, and I'm just squiggling it along. You don't want to really add the colors like in a circle like I did my white base. You want to kind of let it like drag off of it. I don't know what else to say about that, but anyway, it'll just keep flowing. So I just keep adding one color after another, and then you'll see me here towards the end I get a little bit more picky about what color I add and where I add it. So anyway, before we get there, I just want to say, hey Coco, hey Briar, hey Darcy, hey Luke, hey Eli. Darcy and my son, her uncle, are getting ready to have a birthday here in a few days. So happy birthday to Logan and Darcy. Nice. So anyway, let's get back to painting. We are adding colors here. That was the Greenish Blue by Amsterdam. Or no, that was the Turquoise Green by Amsterdam. And I'm just checking all around my bottle. I go all the way around it and look And now I'm content with the way it looks, so I'm taking my little skewer and I'm squiggling my skin or my paint down at the bottom so that when it dries, it's going to make some really pretty patterns and I can use it in my pendants. And I'm going to show you that, so just keep watching. So here I'm going to flood my second bottle, and I'll show you what I'm talking about going around. See how I go around in a circle with this white paint? And you don't want to do that really with your colors. You want to go like zigzag. But here, this is a good way to flood your bottle. I've never really done a bottle where I went around like that, so I don't know. Maybe it'll look cool. Try it out and see. But here I am dabbing again my base to make sure that that paint is going to flow all the way down and there's no surface tension. Okay, so keep watching. And on this next bottle, I actually add some Dioxizine Purple by Liquitex. So I have all the other colors that I did on the first bottle, but on this one I add some purple. And these colors to me remind me of that abalone shell that I showed you. I think, can't remember the video that I did, but I'll look it up and let you know for sure. I think it was on the video before this one. So anyway, I'm going to have some real pretty skins with these colors. So just keep watching. I'm speeding you up here to where we can get to the brass tacks. The video that I did with the abalone colors is the video before this one, so it's number 22. So you can go back and see that painting I did with these colors, or similar colors anyway, that I'm doing right now on this bottle. So another idea that you could do is get a wooden canvas and put your bottle on top of the wooden canvas, and after you add all the colors that you like, just very carefully take that bottle off and set it over to the side, and then take that wooden canvas and start tilting it and see what kind of designs that you can come up with on your canvas. I've seen similar things done like that before, but I've just never tried it. Who knows, maybe I will one day and put it on YouTube. I got these bottles at Dollar General and they were on sale for $1.50 a piece, and I chose them because they were slick and didn't have ridges on them. The other bottles that were there had ridges, and I just didn't think that this would do very well with that kind of bottle. Also, if you want to know the colors I use, I will put them in the description below. I always put the colors that I use in the description, and then also I do add the recipes for my paints in the description below. And there is also a link to Kanella Ciraco's video where she shows you how to measure out and mix the paints, and I've added that link into the description below, so you can hop on over to her channel and watch and see how she mixes her paints. I do it the exact same way, and she was one of my teachers on YouTube, and I learned a lot from Kanella. So head on over to her channel. She'll teach you a bunch of stuff. So here's the wet results, and they've been dripping for some time, and they'll just continue to drip and to change. They will not look like this, and once they dry, they're going to dry a little darker. So there you can see my skins and how I did my little swirls in my skins. So here I have already resined my bottles, and they are dry. I used the SuperClear Resin, which really worked out good. It's 1 part to 1 part, and you just make sure you have it all mixed good. And I'm just showing you here that I poured it round and round on the top, and then took my hands and made sure that it was running down the sides, and then poured some more on the top. And then now it's dry. It's 24 hours later, and I'm going to show you how I had to cut into that resin to get it the tape off and that canning seal off. So I took my heat gun and I heated it up, and I took a knife and just broke the seal, cut the seal where the resin was attached to that tape, and I just kept heating it up, and it softens that resin to where the knife goes through it easier, and you can get that tape off. So I just take my time and keep heating it up and keep getting that resin softened to where I could take it off. And this was a little bit more tricky, because when that resin dripped all the way down to the bottom of the container and it met that canning ring, it really created a thick seal. But I just kept heating it up and took my knife and sawed away at that rim. I just kept at it until I broke through to that canning seal, and had to saw away at it a bit. But once I got to the rim itself and was able to heat it up and break that seal, I was able to get that canning ring off of my soap dispenser bottle. And you'll see here that it took me a minute or two. I even stopped filming and did the rest off film. It did make quite the mess, but once I got that seal off of my soap dispenser, there you go, then I was able to heat that tape up and get that tape off without damaging my design from my bottle. And it really turned out pretty. Just cleaned it up a little bit and was able to sand the bottom off there and get that cleaned up. And there's the end result. Isn't that beautiful? It's just going to look really pretty in someone's bathroom or in someone's kitchen, wherever you use a soap dispenser there. This one's the purple one. The one before was the ones with the greens and the blue. That one has a little bit of purple in it, and that's just gorgeous. Beautiful. And it'll be fine wiping it down when that soap gets on the sides. Oh, here's my skins. And just wanted to show you, this one over here is the one that has the purple in it, and it really turned out nice. All of those swirls, I'm just gonna have a lot to be able to do pendants and earrings. And this one over here did not have the purple in it. It's just the greens and the blues and the silver. It's just really pretty. And I made some pendants so you could see. I made a little elephant there, and he has just a little tiny piece in it, and so does the dragonfly, just a little tiny piece. But that glass on top just magnifies your skin, and it shows the shimmer and just really gives it a 3D effect. And there's the owl and the turtle. They turned out pretty too. So I hope you enjoyed watching. Here they are again. Hope you enjoyed watching, and thank you for watching to the very end. I appreciate it. And until next time, be blessed.